Hello and welcome to the IRC F1 League on PlayStation 4. I am Bob Duell, commentating for the first time here in this league, and we're here in Azerbaijan for the Baku Grand Prix. It is round 4 of this season, and so far it's a dry weekend. We're in qualifying, and there's no rain just yet, but very difficult track this one. Highly likely to see multiple crashes today, as it is a bit of a killer of a track, a little bit like Monaco but with straights, and we will probably see a lot of crashes today. We've got Slimbo Dude leading the championship as we go into this race. He's won 2 races so far this season and scored a second place last time out in China. He'll be the one to watch today, with a load of other drivers also competing for the win. So we've got the Mercedes out on track. Fret N. Apologies for my pronunciations today. I've literally just gone straight into the deep end today, and if I pronounce your name wrong, or if I pronounce anyone's name wrong, I do apologise. It'll take me a while to get used to them, but Rocketoni, I can pronounce that. We'll watch him for a little bit as he comes out the pits to start his outlap. So, in real life, in previous years, we've seen some pretty amazing Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Even this year, still a pretty spectacular one, with both Red Bulls hitting each other and Bottas losing it out on the final lap. But the most key thing that's happened here, or most memorable thing, was probably Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton colliding last year, actually, in this race, about midway through, actually, probably, and both drivers getting in a bit of a heated moment in that race, and Sebastian Vettel pretty much just driving into Hamilton on that occasion. But hopefully we don't see anything like that today. Hopefully we get a pretty clean race and some good action along the way. Plenty of overtaking points around this track, especially this straight here, which Double Cream Cat is heading down right now. Very long straight when you add it all up, including the fast left and right, but huge DRS point. We don't see too many overtakes, to be fair, on this game so far down that straight and the other leagues that I've commentated on, but it should see quite a bit of overtaking today. This and that straight that Double Cream Cat is starting now are the two real key points of overtaking on this track. There's nowhere really else where you can get it done, as the walls are very tight, and the curbs are also quite tricky around this track as well. A little bit like Monza, it's those sausage curbs that if you attack them too much, like this corner here actually, Double Cream Cat doesn't do that on this particular lap, but if you attack that too much, then it will send you off into the wall. But this section is approaching just now, the castle section, probably one of the most spectacular parts of the track, really, as it is extremely tight, but Double Cream Cat survives it on this occasion. We're here for a full qualifying today and a 50% race, so we should see, I think, a car or a few cars go out in this first session. I'm not too sure how the game does it when there's not a 20 driver grid, but we have a pretty big grid today, 18 drivers, and it should be an almighty scrap for the win. Double Cream Cat coming around the final sweeping corners there, as Fretten goes quickest so far with a 1:39.7 in the Mercedes. But we're going to keep on board with Double Cream Cat as he approaches the line, as Slimbo Dude is retired from the session. We don't know what's going on there. We, for some reason on this game, can't car, but Rocketoni goes quickest with a 38.7. Very nice lap from him, but the championship leader is out in Q1, astonishingly, unless someone gets disqualified or something, or there's an absolute ton of crashes. That is absolute. That's just a disastrous start to the day for Slimbo Dude, as he will surely be starting at the back of the grid and go out in Q1. So dramatic scenes already, as karting 1306 goes quickest with a 1:38.2. half a second quicker than Rocketoni, so that's quite a big gap there. Double Cream Cat way off as well, about 4 seconds there, so that could be quite a good lap from karting now. We obviously will need to wait and see some other cars put in the lap, as Roscoe, I presume, is about to start his lap actually in the McLaren, and we'll get a few of the extra details up, as everyone's on ultra softs at the minute, so there's no real things to look out for there. Maybe some drivers will be trying to get through this first session on the slower tyre if they're confident, but most of the time it is safest to just go in the quickest tyre, as this is Fretton should be pulling back in pits. He does, but we'll keep an eye on anyone else on a flyer. Rocketoni is 3 seconds off, so he's definitely not on a flyer, but we're right on board with Roscoe, as he is on a lap at the minute. So a little bit of a brush of the wall there, no damage, but very close to potentially having some damage, but just missed the apex there, so may have compromised a little bit on his lap. But nice exit as he goes downhill into this very, very heavy braking point here. So easy to put it in the wall if you take the corner wrong, but he takes it almost perfectly that time. Very nice from Roscoe there, as he comes up to technically the final corner, if you don't include the sweeping things, but they are really a corner. We'll see how well he takes this. Very nice. I don't know if he's lost a bit of speed there actually going into there, but we'll see what he does as he opens his DRS and comes up to the line. It's not going to be quickest, I don't think, and it'll be third place, about 1.3 seconds off the top, but it was an alright lap. It was pretty smooth, and he surely will have to improve on that actually if he wants to do any better for the rest of qualifying. But for Q1 that should be okay. He should be able to get through this session. Built-in Matt is actually up on this lap, so he could be increasing the his position on the grid, or moving up should I say. But Butler UK actually I think has just gone 6th place, so it's actually demoted Matt here to 7th, but is he going to improve? He continues on his lap, and he doesn't, or he does, but he doesn't move up anywhere. He doesn't move any positions up the grid, so he remains in 7th. So who else have we got? I think Stay Wolves. Well, I'll just go with Wolves here. In the McLaren, comes round the final corner as he is now approaching the DRS point and then the line to put in his first lap, and the yellow flag in sector 1. We'll actually look around what that's all about. That could be a car going slow, but we'll go back on board with Wolves. What's he going to do here? He's not going to go top, he's going to go 9th. A little bit off the pace there, but there's still a good 9+ minutes left of this session for a few more laps. So, who else has not set a lap then? Dave Shaw. We'll watch him as he comes towards the end of the lap. But make sure you subscribe to this channel. Obviously it's not the IRC channel, but you can subscribe if you want, if we end up having to stream on this channel for next week. But yeah, so far very dramatic, just because Slimbo, championship leader, is out of this qualifying session so far. It's not over yet for him. He will obviously be able to compete in the race, but he will have to compete from the back as Dave Shaw goes 8th. We had a yellow flag for a moment there as Blasmic hits the line to start his lap. We don't know what happened with that, but yeah, there's a few yellow flags appearing there. We don't know what ended up with him, but Vanquish, a driver I know, as Rocketoni's out of the session. Now what's going on there? We don't know what part of the track that's happened on, but he should be able to get through. Maybe that's why he's retired, but that's another driver already out of this session. Only 2 obviously, but in Q1 do you really want to be? We don't know if he's crashed out or retired, but we don't know how much the track will increase, and you've got track evolution and things like that. He should go through, so maybe that's why he's retired. But Vanquish now hitting the line in the Williams, and he was third. Wow, so all of the top three now are in that 138, should I say, bracket. And the laps are getting better here, as we have a yellow flag in sector 2, and Azdog is out, so that'll be another driver out of this session. Has he crashed in the castle section? I think he has. There he is. I think he may have clipped the wall. That Renault looks like he's missing a tyre, and he's hit the wall, and that'll be him out of this qualifying. So Slimbo dude, he could technically still go through if, but I'm not too sure how many cars progress through this. I presume 16, but you just don't know, as Blasmic is now out. And we'll have a look where that was. As I don't think this is where the game just needs to make you still be able to look at the car that's crashed out, because then you actually know what they've done. But that's another car out now with I think that was Steve Penny, it might have been, just going a bit quicker. Oh, very nearly binned it in the wall there. Most cars should be safe now because of Slimbo and Azdog going out, but Snap and Hixie, if I'm right in saying that, they might be a little bit worried. Might want to get the lap in sooner rather than later, just to get the lap in, just to avoid the embarrassment really of getting knocked out by two cars that aren't even in the session anymore. So they'll want to get their laps in, as we got another yellow flag here. Quite a few incidents happening. That might just be a slow car. The game does bring out yellow flags for slow cars, but Fretton here, he's on a quick lap. He looks like he's pushing. We'll ride on board with him, although he's already third place, but we'll ride on board with him as he approaches the final part of this lap. Or will we? We'll just check on that yellow flag. Nothing hopefully has happened there. We've got Dave Shaw going incredibly slow. Maybe he's ran out of fuel or something. But Fretton coming down the straight now. He may not improve here. He's way off the pace, and he's not. He ain't going to improve. So we'll have a look at some other people on track. The Red Bull of Steve Penny. Is he on another lap? He could be, could not be. We'll find out when he comes up to the line. Oh, and he's not now. Oof, the spectacular crash there for the Red Bull driver, as we saw that live just there, coming around that fast right-hander, and he totally smacked in the wall there. He's lost both his front tyres, and the back end just slipping away. He's got a lap in already, so he should be okay. But that's not nice. Not a nice crash for him there. He could maybe he should be okay to get through, as he has put a lap in already. But a few crashes here in Q1 as we approach the 4 minutes remaining mark. But yeah, it's proving to be the final sector in that castle section. As we all know, it is the point where cars do end up putting it in the wall. It is a really dangerous part of the track, that one, in these F1 2018 races, as the back of the car just slips away and you totally lose control. There's another yellow flag there, but I think Dave Shaw has ran out of fuel, so that is why those yellow flags are appearing. Snap is starting a lap, and in the Ferrari, he hasn't set a lap yet. He should be able to go through if he has a smooth lap and just gets it in. Nice first two corners there, as we got another car out. Carl, he's probably just retired, as we are approaching the end of the session now, and some cars will be pretty confident of progressing due to some of the DNFs. But yes, as we do approach the end, it's karting on top at the minute, with Rockatoni currently in second. So in IRC we do run simulation damage, so that may be a reason why we're seeing a handful of crashes here, and it obviously will contribute, because it is very easy to lose your front wing, as I think Snap just made a bit of contact with the wall there in the castle section. He's just gone a bit off the track there. He has got damage on that front right bit of his wing, and that will be affecting him, especially at this part of the track. Let's see how he takes this corner. Ooh, a brush of the wall, not too bad. At least didn't. Pretty fine car for the next session as he clips the wall again. Maybe gets away with it a little bit with sim damage. Maybe gets away with not DNFing out of this session, but he's got DRS open. Absolutely maxing out on the ERS as well. And he goes 13th, not an astonishing lap, but he did have front wing damage. But he should be through. He should be through this session. We'll find out. It's almost a little bit up in the air here. We're not too sure, or I'm not too sure, who will go through in this session, but or the amount of cars, should I say, that go through in this session. But who knows? We'll find out. Really, we'll find out at the end. And yes, it's kind of settling down a little bit. We've got a few cars coming out on the track. Vanquish has gone back out there to do another lap. Maybe not really needed, but Hixie is on a lap, I think, as he is coming up to one. Really running out of the ERS, so he will not continue with that lap, and I can't blame him, as the ERS is a massive. It's just ridiculous how much that can affect your lap, as we can see here with Bilton Matt, with only about 16% left there. So down the straight you can get through that pretty quickly if you've got it in overtake mode. But I have to remind the viewers that this stream will be re-uploaded after the Grand Prix, and re-uploaded in HD with highlights and all that kind of stuff, so you can watch as much as you want, as my internet is not the greatest, so that's why, if you're wondering, the stream is in its poor quality. That is why. But Bilton Matt comes through these final sweeping corners, and in the Toyota, nice livery that is, very popular amongst the community. And Bilton Matt is going to hit the line, and he's going to be in the 140.5, and he improves, not by much, but he's gone up the grid, and that is time up in this Q1 session. We've got a few people still out there on laps though, so we'll keep an eye on them. As Snap is still out there. I think he's still got his broken front wing. We'll find out actually how many cars go out of this Q1 session, as Snap shows you how not to take that corner. As I said earlier about these curbs, they are absolutely deadly. You really cannot take much of them, or else it will just ping you in the wall. So that should be about it, as we've got Wills actually coming around the final corner. We'll see what he does. We'll see how quick he goes on this lap. DRS open, he's ran out of ERS, so may not be the greatest of laps, and he doesn't actually improve. 7/10 off, as we are now just awaiting Snap to hit the line. Just waiting for him now to pretty much retire the car, and then we can get on with the next session. But as I've just noticed actually, King Bergs 16 has not actually set a lap, so I don't know if he thinks he's through or not, but that could be a bit of a muck up from him there. A Slimbo dude could still be in the session. We'll find out when the results come up, and yeah, we'll just await the session to just finish off. I think it's Bilton Matt that we're now actually waiting, who ran out of fuel, but he could very easily just retire, but it seems like he's not wanting to. But we've only got 58 seconds anyway, as it's a great shot from the helicopter here of the Baku city, really. Quite a few interesting buildings there, as we are now slowly getting towards the end of this lap, as we see a McLaren actually going past somehow. As yes, it's now a long wait to the line, but he could save us this way by just retiring, but it looks like he wants to get to the line. Great shot there actually of how big this track is. Really, it's a huge long straight, this one, but Bilton Matt just waiting for him to pull in the pits now as we've got 10 seconds left of this Q1 session, and that should be that. Yep, there we go. That is your Q1 session. We'll have the results come up in just a moment, and then we'll see who's through into Q2 and who's not. Is the championship leader out already, or is he through? It's going to be quite vital really for him, if he's got through or not, but we shall see. And karting on top by a good 4/10, and he is. It's the 16th to 18th are out, so your championship leader Slimbo Dude is out of this qualifying already due to an early DNF in that session. Big news there. Kingberg 16 in the Force India is also out, and Asdog also crashed out, and he is out. Wow, so that is your qualifying one just now, and yeah, get your comments in what you thought of that session. And as we approach Q2, I don't know the weather yet for this Grand Prix, so I don't know if it's a wet race or anything, but it's a dry qualifying, as we're now down to 14 for Q2. It's a 15-minute session, so it's more. This is more when things kick into gear. It's the top 10 that go through, and 14 cars will be fighting it out for those vital 10 positions, really. But with your championship leader out of this qualifying session so far, it's going to be pretty important for some people this session, and obviously Q3 as always, but Q2 has just become that bit more important because the championship leader is out. So we got double cream count, first car to make it out on track, as he pretty much was on the last session. I think it was the second car out last time, but he seems like a driver that is in a bit of a hurry here, although he's actually just let the Mercedes through, and Fretton now leads the pack onto the first hot laps. It's quite good with these longer sessions now. With you have it in short qualifying now, obviously with 18-minute sessions, but in Q1 and Q2 you can definitely get in a good 3 runs, so it's quite nice for the drivers. They can get those runs in, and there's maybe a little less pressure. You can get a banker lap in that bit easier, and it'll be interesting to see, will we see any other big hitters go out in this session due to crashing? But massive stuff there. The championship leader out in Q1. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Right, I shall just I'll just view that comment. We just had one go through. Could be about the weather, could be some faults on the qualifying so far. Get your comments in. I'm totally cool viewing all of those and answering those. But Fretton will be the first driver to start a lap in this Q2 session, and we'll see how well he does. This qualifying session's totally open now without the championship leader. It was pretty open anyway, but it'll be very interesting to see who will be the pole sitter, really, because it'll give us an idea of who's the main challenger. As I'll bring up the driver standings, and yeah, Slimbo was a good 16 points ahead before this race. Not that he can still win this race, that's for sure. He's going to have to make a lot of overtakes, and it'll be quite astonishing victory for him if he does win. But he's got a job in his hand. There's a lot of cars then way behind his nearest challenger, Karting, who actually, funnily enough, was on top in Q1. So he could be the one to watch in this session. We then have Christian, who I don't think is here today, but it's Vanquish and then Built and Matt, who are the other real kind of closer drivers. Who have we got? Yeah, there's, so who else did we have go out of that session? Rockatoni's actually only done one race so far this season, so he could be one to watch as well. Also in the Mercedes, as Fretton is now about to hit the line, as everyone's almost coming up. We've only got 3 cars still in the pits, so it's good to see lots of cars out on the track. But Fretton now hits the line and sets a 1:39.4, a little bit off the pace from Q1, but a solid lap to kick it off for the rest of the grid. Is now coming up to the line. His double cream cap puts a lap in, improves on his set time in the last session, puts in a 1:40.6. But Roscoe now coming up to the line in the McLaren, and he starts the lap, I presume. Maybe he had an invalid lap. Maybe that's what happened. He went a bit wide there actually in that final corner. Who have we got? We got Wolves going into pits there. Maybe he's hit the wall on his lap. As Karting goes quickest, not quite as quick as his Q1 lap, as Blasnik puts himself third, as Built-in Matt now hits the line. We've got a lot of cars hitting the line now. I think there's another car actually approaching the line just there. Yes, that was him car hitting the line in the Toro Rosso. We've got a yellow flag. Can't really find what's going on here. I think that's a slow car actually in sector 1, but yeah, the laps are flying in now. Almost can't keep up with it. But we'll look at Butler UK, as I presume he's saying all that. He is. He goes 7th place with 1:40.2, and the gap from 1st to 8th here is a lot closer than Q1. So maybe the DNFs in the first session is kind of why the laps, there was a bigger gap from the kind of quickest lap and the slowest lap. But yeah, they're definitely kicking into gear now with some of these times, and we got a right fight on our hands. There's still a good half second from Karting, who's actually stopped there on the track. It's a very strange incident now. He's got to be careful he doesn't get a penalty or something by doing that, because that's how great this game is. They seem to hand out penalties for everything. But yeah, I think it's all alright with Karting. But yeah, it's a good half a second gap there from Karting to Fretton, who's now in the pits. But yeah, there's a bit of promise. But at the minute, Karting seems to be the driver on top. But we've got Roscoe coming up to the line now, who's not on a flyer. He's way off the pace, and he doesn't actually pull in the pits. Maybe he's just setting it up. As there's no one else on a lap at the minute, we'll ride on board with him. We'll ride on board with Roscoe as he starts a lap here. I think there's another car actually, as Wolves is now out. So that'll be the first car out of this Q2 session, unless everyone else unbelievably retires. But Wolves is out of this session. First and second sector, we've got yellow flags all in every sector now. I presume that's cars just slowing down. But yeah, that's a real shame for Wolves there. That'll surely be him out of this session, because it'd be very surprising if he gets going again. Well, he won't be getting going again. What am I on about? He's out of this session, and he's out of the whole qualifying pretty much, because someone is going to set a lap in. But McLaren will have to rely on the Scotsman Roscoe to produce the goods today, in this session, should I say? As we've got one man out already. But that's to say that Roscoe makes the underslant. Don't want to jinx anything, but he's actually on the super soft tyre. One thing that I haven't, for whatever reason, brought up. But there we go. There is actually a lot of cars on super soft tyres. I apologise to the viewers for not bringing that up, but that's interesting to see that a lot of drivers are trying to do that, and that will presumably be for the race. strategy. But that'll be why double cream can't actually improve this lap, and that's why the pace isn't really up there. But Roscoe goes 8th on those super soft tyres. That's just about 2/10 quicker than double cream cat. But we have some other drivers out on laps now. We've got Dave Shaw starting his lap. Rocketoni is now starting his lap as well. Mercedes driver. A very nice helmet actually, I do like that. Indeed. We've got Snap actually about to start his lap as well. But we've got yellow flag in sector 1. We presume that's just Roscoe driving quite slowly. But we'll ride on board with Dave Shaw as everyone's kind of just back in the pits now, just getting everything sorted for probably the final run. If anyone goes out now, you may not get back in the pits in time to fit in another one. But that's the key thing with these qualifying sessions. You've got to leave it to the very end if you want to absolutely max out the track evolution. The more shall I say, cars have been around it, the quicker the track gets, etc., etc. And that's where you really max out on your potential lap time. So that'll be what people get ready for now. Simply just that. We've got Dave Shaw coming up to the line now on ultra soft tyres, so he could punch himself into the top 10, and it could get a few people worried. We may see some of these super soft runners now switching onto ultra softs to get through into the next session. The key thing here is not to get put out, as Dave Shaw puts in a very nice lap, only 4/10 off the top, obviously on those ultra soft tyres, but a nice lap. But we've got Rocketoni now coming up to the line with DRS absolutely wide open. What can he do? He goes second. Oh so close from taking that top spot as he just parks it. He's through without a doubt, surely. Or yeah, there we go, he's out. That's confidence for you on those super soft tyres. What a lap from Rocketoni. Literally just almost half a tenth off karting there, as I think Snaps actually, I tell you what, Snaps had another collision, excuse me, he's had another collision with the wall. You can see with his front wing he's got major damage there. And well, karting, he was looking comfortable, but he won't be anymore, because Rocketoni on the super soft tyres goes very close to taking that top spot off him, and Snap is going to pull in the pits, understandably, with all that damage. But he's going to be under a bit of pressure here. He's going to have to put in the lap. That'll be the same with Hixie. I'd be very surprised if he gets back in the pits in time. And he's on super softs, so quite a few drivers here are leaving it a bit risky here. We've got 2 comments, so we'll have a check when my phone starts working of what those comments are. But yeah, Hixie and Snap, they'll be the drivers under pressure here. Double Cream Cat, he's got to put in a lap here. Wolves is obviously out of the session, and we won't be seeing any more of him. But a lot of cars in the pits now. We've actually got Dave Shaw, I think, warming up for a flying lap on those ultra soft tyres. He should be comfortable. The cut off here, I'm kind of having a guess, it could be a 1:39.5. That could happen. It just depends what tyre people go on. I could be totally wrong with that cut off, but we'll find out, as Dave Shaw, I think, is now actually going to pull into the pits, as he's not even using his DRS. So apart from Hixie, he's about to start his lap, his all-important lap potentially. Oof, very close to the wall there. On the super soft tyres, he's risking it. He is really risking it. He's the only car on a flying lap at the minute, or about to be on a flying lap. He's on the super soft tyres, and he's going to need to put in a lap here. He's under the pressure here to get out of this session in IRC. But can he do it? Get your comments in. Is Hixie going to get out of this session on the super soft tyres? He's definitely risking it being on those tyres, as Bilton Matt is actually about to start a flying lap on those ultra soft tyres. He's already in the top 5, and I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make it out of this session. But yeah, it should be okay. built in. I'd be very surprised if the laps get that there's that much of a dramatic kind of improvement in laps, but we'll keep an eye on Hixie here, as these cars really are the key ones here. But yellow flag in sector 2, that's probably just a car warming up. Snap is now out there and on ultra soft, so he's going for it. People to watch out for here is probably Roscoe, Butler UK, and maybe Himcar. Them drivers, they won't be sitting easy at the minute. They've got to really put in a lap if they want to be absolutely guaranteed a place through. But we've just got over a minute left of this session, as it's now heating up in Azerbaijan, as Hixie is going to come up to the line here. What's he going to do? On the super soft tyres, he goes third. So Hixie, I shouldn't have even doubted him. He's got the pace. He's only 2/10 off the top, and that now plummets Roscoe into the drop zone. So Snap is on a flying lap. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Himcar is starting his flying lap, so we'll keep an eye on Snap for now. As built-in Matt goes quickest, 4/10 quicker than karting. Fair enough on the quicker tyre, and but 4/10 is a big gap. As Snap doesn't take that corner. He does that. He's done already in this qualifying, and once again he takes it a bit all over the place. But he is under the pressure. He's only going to get this lap in. He can't afford a mistake. He's got a yellow flag in sector 1. But we'll keep an eye on Snap here. He's not hit the wall so far of what I've seen. He's got to really put in a good lap here, as Hixie he's got to do understeer really, and he's done it again, and he just about hangs on right on the limit there. It really has affected his lap surely, but can he still get through? It'd be unbelievable if he gets through with those two mega moments there. But Snap's going to come up to the line now, and this is it. This is the only lap he's going to get in. Is he going to go through? No, he's not. He's way off the pace, so those slides there have really cost him. But we're going to have to keep our eye out on Himcar here as he goes around the final corner. He's in the safe zone at the minute, but can he improve? He's on ultra soft tyres, so he should improve. We'll keep an eye on the other drivers when they come up to the line. But Himcar now coming up to the line. Is he going to be safe? He is absolutely safe. There's a Toro Rosso 1-2 at the minute, as both cars on ultra soft put in absolute screamers. Roscoe goes up to 7th. He's now safe. Butler UK, he's in the drop zone. Can he get out of the drop zone? Blasmic is going to be getting worried here, and he does. He goes up to 10th place, and Blasmic and Double Cream Cat, oh dear, they are out of this session, as well as Snap. And oh, an absolute disaster there. Butler UK coping with the pressure, and oh so close, but he does get through, and fair play to him. He stuck with it, and he's through into the next session, the final session actually, Q3. And there is your Q3 drivers and the cars that are out: Wolves, Snap, Double Cream Cat, and Blasmic. So some very close. There was 2 attempts in it in the end, but he was still very close. He had to put the lap in, Butler UK. But yeah, we've got a bit of a mixed grid there. We don't know who is going to be quickest at the minute, as we have got those ultra soft runners there a little bit ahead. But Karting UK and Rocketoni, and also the Haas of Hixie, they'll be the ones to watch here. As I have just found out, very key information here, Rocketoni and Fret have Q3 bans for incidents in the Bahrain Grand Prix. So I presume that was 2 races ago. But Rocketoni and Fret, as there we see it, he retires, and he's out of the Q3 session. Wow, that is drama for you there. Looking very quick, but wow, it opens it up very nicely for the others, as Karting and Hixie could be the main people to scrap it out here. But who knows, that Q2 session has thrown up a few surprises there, and a load of cars on different sets of tyres, so we'll have an interesting start to the race, as there are multiple cars on totally different strategies, which usually causes a bit of carnage. But to be fair, the first corner actually it's a short run into the first corner. It's not really where you're going to see, you'll see maybe a few crashes, but not maybe that many overtakes. It's for a long straight, it's a really short. It's not like the Spanish track, for example. It's a long straight, but it's also a long run into turn one. This track, for whatever reason, they've decided it's going to be a short run into the first corner. So, pole could be key. With Baku, it's not really like the absolute, like Monaco, if you like. Not absolute paramount, but like it could be key. Short run into the first corner, you can defend it quite nicely if you have got on pole, but can't really be thinking about how it's going to end up into turn one at the minute. You've got to be thinking about that perfect lap to stick it on pole position. Okay, here we are. The car's now warming up for their first run. They get about 2 runs in this Q3 session. And cars are just out there now on their warm-up laps. Get your questions in and your predictions before these laps get in, as Karting will be the first man to get a lap in. The Force India driver looked very quick so far, so we'll see what he can do. He'll kick it off for us. We'll get a bit of information up on the screen, as we've only got one super soft runner. Bilton Matt seems very confident going on those sets of tyres. He won't be getting pole on those, that's for sure. Maybe he's having to save his tyres. Maybe he's used up a load of ultra soft tyres and he's but everyone else is on ultra softs, as Karting is on his lap now, and Rocketoni obviously retires due to his Q3 ban. Right, let's ride on board with Karting here as he approaches the very, very tight castle section. It's a nice line so far, absolutely brilliant line, to be honest, and that is why he was quickest in Q1. Look how smooth and quick that was in that little sector there. He needs pole, really, he really does. Not absolutely massively important so far, only 4 races into this season, or 3 races down, and now we're on the 4th round. But as we have a sector 3 yellow flag, someone's gone out. Himcar has hit the wall, and that could be big, that could be very big. Himcar, and he has, there he is, he's just about to start his flying lap, and he's smacked in the wall. But we're going to focus on Karting now in the Force India. DRS wide open, ERS max deployed, and he hits the line and he sets us off with a 1:37.4. An absolutely brilliant lap of what we've seen so far from Karting. Can anyone beat that? That is the question. Vanquish is going to hit the line, and he doesn't beat that. He's well over a second and a half off that time. And that is some lap from Karting there, as Butler is way off as well. He may have had an instant on that lap, because he is quite a way off with a 1:39.9. We'll keep an eye on Bilton Matt as he hits the line. Super soft tyres is 39.6, away off the pace, but we don't know what he can do in ultra softs. Dave Shaw a 39.3, he's off the pace. Roscoe, what can he do? Can anyone get close to Karting on this first run? No, a 39.2. So unless Hixie can snatch something here in the first round in this Q3 knockout kind of boxing match almost at the minute, with Hixie just starting his lap, actually totally mugging me off there, but it is very much a bit of a boxing match at the minute. Karting almost putting in that first blow, and everything that's been chucked back at him, he's just kind of pushed it away, really. It's just totally obliterated the rest of the field, and no one is near that. He could go back to the garage now, put his feet up, and just say to the rest of the field, beat that, because that is one hell of a lap compared to what we've seen already in this qualifying session. I'd be very surprised if someone beats it, but we know there's still something to come from Hicksy here. What can he do? What can he do? Can he get a surprise pole here? Not a surprise, but Butler UK's actually retired. Maybe he's just been like, I can't improve, and that's all I can offer today. And he's just retired, actually. So we've also got Bilton Matt, who's putting a lap on Supersoft. Maybe he can improve a little bit. There's a bit of a lift there, actually, I think, from Hicksy. So that'll maybe compromise his lap, sorry. And what can he do? Can he get near? He just needs to get near. If we don't know how perfect this lap has been from Hicksy, as we haven't seen it from the start, but if he can get within half a second of karting, we've got a right shootout on our hands here. But here he comes, DRS wide open. Can he get close? Oh, it's fair. It's an improvement. It's an improvement, but it's still not quite close enough. A 38.7. He's still a little bit off that pace. He's second, but karting at the minute has really kind of stole the show a bit. But we've got 6 cars still running in this Q3 session, as we have less than 5 minutes left now. So really approaching the crunch time of this qualifying session. Hicksy's going to actually have to sprint back to the pit lane, because you really need about 3 minutes or so as he totally cuts that corner in a panic to get back to the pits, really, because you should really be leaving the pits if you want to be on the safe side about that 3-minute mark. And as we've actually got Vanquish on an outlap, so maybe he's going for he may have put in a little bit extra fuel, we don't actually know, but yeah, he could be going for a 2-run kind of thing here. The laps are fairly long around this track, about as we can see, around 1:37 to 1:39, so they're fairly long, so you need a bit of time to get out there, and if you're doing 2 runs, you need that bit more time. So maybe that's what Vanquish is doing here. He's going to have to put in one heck of a lap to get on pole. I mean, that could be already out of the question, and we've not even had the final runs yet. But as Hicksy does get back to the pits, so he should be okay to get out for the final run. But we're going to watch Vanquish here, as he is about to start his potentially final lap, but he surely should be able to get another one after this. The one problem with these, especially with the new ERS management thing, is you can't really use it for 2 runs. You can, but you will run out on that second run, especially around a track like this Baku circuit with the long straights that really kind of use up that ERS energy a lot more than, say, a Monaco. But what can he do? He's a second and a half off. If he gets on the front row, then he's got every chance in the race, that's for sure, because we don't know what could happen into turn 1. And if he can get ahead into turn 1 in the lead, then you're looking good for the rest of the race if you can keep it clean. But what can he do? Can he get on pole? It's a tough ask, but it's not out of the question, that's for sure. As annoyingly, the game makes it sound like he's totally stuck in gear there, but we know he's not stuck in gear. We know he's absolutely pushing to the max. As you can see there, a great camera shot there as he plummets into this corner. We've got yellow flag in sector 1. That's probably a car warming up his tyres, and we've got every car now out on track, so big stuff. And I apologise, the stream may not actually be coming up. I think my internet isn't allowing, but I'm saving everything, so do not worry, you can see it all after this session. But we've got Vanquish coming up to the line, currently in 3rd place. Can he improve? He can. He's only 6 tenths off. He's just about done what I said. He's on the front row at the minute, so there's still pace in some of these cars. We got Roscoe now on a flying lap. We got Bilton Matt on a flying lap, or he may be starting a flying lap. We'll see. But that's really promising from Vanquish there. That just shows that there is still time, as Bilton Matt goes 4th place on those ultra soft tyres. So unless you can get another run in, it's not the greatest of laps. 39 dead, but you never know. As Dave Shaw now starts his final flying lap, it'll be karting that is the last man on the track at the end of the session. He may not even have to put in a lap if no one can beat him. But Roscoe at the minute is approaching the final sector. But that's encouraging from Vanquish there. Can we see a different driver on pole? Obviously karting is on another lap. We cannot rule him out on even improving on that lap. But Roscoe now coming around the final corner. Can he get on the front row? He's 5th place in the minute. Maybe looking more at the second row. It's more within reach. He's going to have to gain, going to have to improve by 1.2 seconds if he wants to get in the front row. Here we go, absolutely maxing out in the McLaren. What can he do? He goes 3rd, he's 2nd row of the grid, only 6 tenths off Vanquish there, who's now going to come up to the line, and Roscoe's gone straight on actually. But here comes Vanquish now. What can he do? He's not going to improve. That's him done. That is his qualifying over. Bilton Matt coming round up to the DRS deployment zone. He's running out of ERS. He surely will not improve. But yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, and Vanquish has gone straight into karting there. Probably a glitch within the game. Bilton Matt, that's his qualifying over. He cannot improve. Dave Shaw, can he improve? He's going to open that DRS. He's currently 6th place. Can he get on the 2nd row of the grid? No, he can't. He improves on his lap, but it's not enough. Hicksey is now the last challenger to come up to the line. DRS open. Can he do it? Can he snatch pole? He's got it gained by so much. He goes 3rd. He doesn't even get on the front row. And Carton is on pole. And he improves by 3 tenths of a second. He absolutely smashes the lap. And karting sends a real message out there to the rest of his rivals that he's the one to beat for this Grand Prix. Great stuff there from the Force India driver, 2nd in the championship, and with his rival really in the championship already, Slimbo out, he puts in an amazing lap to put it on pole. 9 tenths quicker, 9.5 tenths quicker pretty much than the rest of his challengers, and a sublime lap there from karting. Vanquish is your driver alongside him though. What can he do? Can he get in front into turn 1? And then we've got Hicksey and Roscoe, both drivers that have maybe got a bit more pace in them on the 2nd row on the grid. So a very interesting qualifying there. Karting looks to be the man to beat at the minute, but we don't know. Many things can happen in this race. We don't know what the weather's going to end up like. I hope the stream is working now, or showing what's going on. Do not worry, I am saving all these clips, so you will be able to see a full highlights thing after the race, and in HD with no internet problems. So we're now waiting for the drivers to just select all their strategies and that, as we have a dry race at the moment, shall I say. And get your predictions in before the race begins. Who's gonna win? What can Slimbo do? That is the key thing. Can he come through the grid? He's gonna have to be so careful, starting right at the back. He's gonna have to be really careful not to get caught up in a tangle here. But we should be preparing for the formation lap here. Or maybe we're not. Maybe we are getting ready for the race here. It's 5 lights, and away we go for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And karting gets a pretty good start, but I think Vanquish he's not got alongside him. We've got a bit of contact there. Roscoe in the McLaren jumps the Sauber, I think it was, Or Dave Shaw, yeah, Dave Shaw's got a good start. Fretton's got a very good start, up to 4th place already. Seems like a pretty clean start. I think Slimbo's made a load of moves up to 12th position now, made that 11th. But we got the Sauber of Dave Shaw up the inside, so close to the wall there. Just about survives. We've got a yellow flag, someone's had a collision. We'll try and find that. A bit of a Constantino effect. There's so many cars driving into the back of each other. Very messy there going into that corner after a pretty clean first two, but karting has the lead at the moment. I apologise to the viewers, I thought we were going into a formation lap, but I just caught it in the end. We are on to the first lap of this Grand Prix, straight away into the action, as Vanquish is going to have to really keep with karting here, as he will be trying to pull away. But Fretton with a great start. Dave Shaw, I think, losing out a little bit there, but Hixie I think is also the main loser. I think he's gone all the way down to 6th place on this opening lap, with Butler UK really hunting him down. Slimbo dude is already up to 10th place from 16th, although he's lost a bit of front wing there. You can see the end plate flipping up in the air, so that won't do him any favours. The double cream cats dropping down the positions. We don't know what's going on there, but here we go. A pretty entertaining first lap there. Already we're on to lap 2 as karting is going to come down the straight. We've got Butler alongside, I think, or he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. He's passed him. As Steve Penny's out the race, we've got a first DNF. Wolves is out and Kingbergs is out as well. What's gone on there? We've had a huge crash. 3 cars out already, and we've got multiple cars pulling in the pits. Maybe that's been a collision down the straight or something, but we've totally missed it. I think that's a Renault without a front wing. What on earth has happened there? Someone's clearly lost it down the straight. It's Hixie's getting a front wing change. So a disastrous start for him from 3rd place on the grid. And the Haas driver already in the pits. But his teammate Slimbo dude up to 9th place, but with a bit of front wing damage. As karting has now got a 2nd lead over Vanquish in 2nd place. But a bit of a messy end to that lap really, as we got Kingbirds, Wolves and Steve Penny all crashing on the main straight, I think it was, but we didn't quite catch it, but we presume that's what's happened. And we did see a lot of cars actually driving into the back of each other on that lap, and but karting, so far so good for him, extending that gap at the front of the race. We've got Double Cream Cat actually struggling out there now. I think he may have a bit of front wing damage. We've got Sector 2. Oh dear, Hixie's out. Hixie is out of this race. Oh, and he's hit the wall at the castle section. A disastrous first 2 laps for him. A total muck up there as we got cars alongside each other. We got a perfect shot of this battle here. We've got Bilt and Matt in the pits. Lots of cars in the pits already. What can Slimbo do here? He goes up the inside, maybe 2 cars. Oh, he's asking for a bit too much there. Rocket Tony goes off in the wall. Slimbo dude, maybe a bit too much there. 2 cars in 1 corner, that would have been fantastic. But he's just almost needed to wait a little bit. Rocket Tony's going to be fuming. He's going to be really raging after that. He's lost the whole of his front wing, as we've got Fretting actually closing in on Roscoe, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Rocket Tony, oh dear, lost his whole front wing, and Slimbo dude damaging his in the process. But almost a superb move from Slimbo, but he almost got a little bit too eager there and lost a bit of his front wing. But fair play to him, it would have been an unbelievable move if he pulled it off, but maybe a little bit too much there. But we got actually Vanquish. He's still within 2 seconds, not DRS zone. But Fretton is the man to watch here, or not anymore, as he's lost the back end, and that's him out. He's lost his tyre, and Fretton has a huge crash here as he spins down the straight. Cars have got to be careful actually to avoid that, as his teammates now got no front wing. A disastrous lap for the Mercedes cars, as Roscoe is now in the pits. Maybe he had a bit of front wing damage. Could we be seeing a safety car here, as Slimbo dude I think has lost a lot of his front wing, so he'll have to pit. But drama on these opening laps. Has Slimbo dude? Yeah, he does. He pulls in the pits. championship leader in the pits on lap 4, as Double Cream Cat stays out. Fair play to him. A snap is actually from the back of the grid, I think. Is now up to 6th place. A phenomenal start from him. Actually, not quite the back of the grid, but he's gone up 7 places. So the real big gainer on these opening laps. But Vanquish, meanwhile, he's still got karting within his sight, but I think karting is just about kind of just keeping it easy at the minute, seeing with all the other drama that's happening, and maybe just hanging on for the minute. Rocketoni, he just came out of the pits, but he may be a victim here of another dive bomb into this corner, as the Renault of Blacksmith is not quite close enough that time around. Probably the best, as Rocketoni, if he gets taken out again, he'll be absolutely, if he's not already, he will definitely be raging. As a disaster there for both Mercedes drivers. They've still got one driver in the race, but really messy there on the lap 3 for them. And it's a bit of drama there. A snap has just clipped the wall. I think we saw the back end of that there, and he has hit the wall. He's got front wing damage. We've got yellow flag in sector 2. Who's hit the wall there? We've got Slimbo Dude. He's had a collision. I think he's had a collision. He looked like he'd stopped there, but after a great getaway and loads of overtakes, he's actually had a pretty disastrous start now. I think he's still got his front wing, so he should be okay for the remainder of that stint. So, as the field is actually now spread out a bit on these opening laps, yeah, as most cars outside the top 5 are now outside of that DRS, the pit stop point, if you like. So if karting suddenly pitted, he would probably come out. He'd be very close with Roscoe, and I'm almost sure Roscoe's actually came in the pits, so Roscoe could be in a really good position here actually. I'll need to try and bring it up. There we go, one stop for Roscoe, and he's only 24 or so seconds off karting, so we could see Roscoe in a very good position here. We don't know if karting's maybe saving a bit here. It is on those super soft tyres, but I'll be interested in keeping an eye out on. There we go, we've brought up the tyre thing now, and so Vanquish and karting both on the same set of tyres here, on the same strategy, and still within a fair bit of each other. But Dave Shaw pretty much not gonna, unless he can pull something out the bag, he's way off the lead at the minute. But yeah, the rest of the field is a pretty big gap between each other. That's Himcar, he's gaining on Double Cream Cat as Dave Shaw pulls in the pits, those ultra soft tyre, and Butler UK now in the pits as well. The ultra soft tyre runners now getting in the pits, switching those fresh set of super softs. As we have both Renaults there, I think a little bit of a move going on there. I don't know if that was a bit of a swap or something, but here comes Himcar, DRS open on Double Cream Cat. He's going to move to the inside. It should be a pretty simple move with a bit of lag to go with it, but he got it done. Pretty nice move there. And importantly for Butler UK, he just comes out of the pits ahead, and we actually have Snap now just behind Dave Shaw. So Dave Shaw critically really for the remainder of this race and stint is out in front, as Himcar stuck behind Butler UK, but Butler UK on the soft tyres. So what can he do? He'll go a long way on those soft tyres, but this is the confusing point of the race, where everyone's got to work out what strategy all the drivers are on. We're probably likely to see a safety car potentially at one point in this race, as this track does have a lot of crashes, as we can already see, with a good 5 cars out of this race already. As we've got a sector 2. Oh, Rocketoni, his race is over. Well, there he is, he spun it and he's retired from the session. Disastrous weekend for the 2 Mercedes drivers, both out of the race, and a weekend to forget for them. After looking quite promising in Q1 and Q2, and then having to call it quits in Q3 due to a ban or something. They had a disastrous race. But Himcar, what can he do? He's going to have DRS here. He's on the older set of tyres, but he's on a quicker compound, so he could get a move done on Butler UK here. He's going to have to come from a long way back, so he ain't going to get it done this time around. But he's keeping with him. And Butler UK, it'll take him a good lap or two to get those tyres switched on. And then that's when he'll really get the best out of those soft tyres. But Himcar at the minute is really going to be putting the pressure on here. Same for him to pit this lap, although he's only done about 5 laps on these super softs, so I can't see why he would. But we'll need to actually keep an eye on the cars out front, because it's only 2.6. Vanquish is keeping that gap steady. His race pace looks a lot better. Oh, and I say that, and he's had a huge muck up there. I think there was actually a bit of lag, so apologies for my connection to the lobby, but it was a bit of lag there. But it's only 2.4 seconds here, so he's still within reach, and that's kind of, if he does an undercut on karting here, it's going to be really close. As he really is keeping the pace here. So Vanquish seems to have really good race pace. He obviously had good qualifying pace to get on the P2, but compared to karting, maybe we don't know. Maybe karting's got a slower race pace. Maybe he's just looking after the tyres. We don't know. But we'll go back to Butler UK, who's actually gaining on Snap here. He has a bit of front wing damage, but Butler UK should get through, and he does, as Snap really should be in the pits, as Himcar could be the next driver to go past Snap, who's actually keeping with Butler UK here. But Himcar going to look to go through, as Snap really is slow, and that was close, very close there between the two drivers, and smartly from Snap he lets Himcar through. But quite poor for Himcar there, really, because he's lost time to Butler UK. He was right on his tail, like Toro Rosso was to the Red Bull, but now he's out of DRS detection, unless he can get back in it in the remainder of this lap. A bit unfortunate for him there. But Vanquish has actually lost a little bit of time now to karting. It's gone up to 3.2. So maybe those tyres are getting a bit worn. But I say that karting is actually, he's increased his ERS deployment, so that could be the reason why the gap's just increasing a little bit, as we're not far off 10 laps into this race now, and we've got a few DNS, quite a few should I say, but so far so good. A pretty interesting race. It's going to really boil up around lap 12 maybe, when these super soft runners come into the pits, but so far pretty interesting. It's one of these races that are just, they're boiling up. It's gonna really explode at one point, as Himcar is now back in DRS, so maybe he'll have DRS down this straight. I'm not sure he will do. He will actually, and Butler UK's got to be careful here. I don't know what he's doing, but Himcar's really going to have a go here on the Red Bull, and he moves to the inside, and I tell you what, fair play to the Toro Rosso driver. Oh, although very close to the wall, but he's got back in front of the Red Bull, who may look at the inside here, but he ain't going to get it. As Himcar, well done. He's used a fair bit of his ERS deployment, but he's ahead of the Red Bull. Well done. He surprised me. He got back in the DRS zone of the Red Bull, and he's caught him. And Slimbo dude, he's in the pits. Maybe he's had a collision with the wall, but the championship leader is not having a great race so far. Back in the pits again for the second time now, putting on super soft, so he must have clipped the wall somewhere. But points are probably still available, but the win is for sure, surely now, unless there's a safety car, they're out of the question. Vanquish, he's upped his ERS actually, as you can see in the bottom right corner, he's upped it to hot lap pace now, and that gap is coming down. Is this him just eking out the last bit of those tyres, and then will he pit? Will he pit and try and undercut karting? We'll just actually have a look at the overall time gaps, and yeah, Slimbo Dude nearly not far off, probably now a whole lap behind. Okay, and so yeah, as I was saying, those are the overall gaps between everyone, and yeah, Slimbo Dude is now 1 minute 35 off the lead, so it is almost as if his kind of challenge for the lead today is over, which is no surprise after 2 stops. But Vanquish and karting, the gap has actually gone up a bit now, so Vanquish is maybe saving, it looks like he's saving his ERS a bit more now, so the gap has gone back up a bit. But who's gonna make the first call here between these two drivers, as Roscoe's actually losing a lot of time now, I think, or should I, no, he's not actually, I had it on the wrong timing thing, but Roscoe about 26 seconds off the leader here. So it's touch and go. I tell you what, when these drivers pit, Roscoe could be in the lead, and there we go. There's the key point. Vanquish, he just kind of, that'll be the kickstarter point of this race here. The Williams driver comes in the pits. He's going to put soft tyres on. He's now going to need a brilliant outlap, and karting will have to respond to that. Karting's going to absolutely have to go for it. But here comes Roscoe coming down the straight, and Vanquish will come out the pits ahead, but the gap is not that big. Roscoe can now see karting, so that's interesting. So Roscoe obviously on an older set of tyres, but he's not far off. He's only 5.4 seconds off. But Vanquish, it is such an important lap for him now. Can he take the lead of this race? He's really got to go for it. He should really be using a bit more of that ERS on this lap, and absolutely going for it, because he could take the lead here off karting. Karting equally has got to have a very nice in-lap, but he had a good 2-3 second buffer over Vanquish, so he could be okay, he could be alright, but you'll need a pretty good lap here on these older set of tyres. But Vanquish is obviously on the soft tyres, it's not like he's on a quicker compound, so he will actually, he maybe not will gain as much as he could have been. But here comes karting now. Is he staying out or is he pitting? It looks like he's going to be coming into the pits, as Azdog's actually also in the pits. It's very aggressive entry, should I say, into the pit lane there. And here we go. Will there be front wing changes? Yellow flag in sector 1 actually. There's no front wing change. He goes on to soft tyres as well. Vanquish coming down the straight now. Force India driver should, and it looks like he's going to come out in front. There we go. He comes out of the pits, and Vanquish does not make the jump, and it's actually, the gap may have increased as there's a yellow flag. Said, oh my word, Carton's hit the wall. Unbelievable, an absolute disaster for the Toro Rosso driver. And Butler UK is also out of the race. We'll just try and see if we can catch that, and he's lost it down the back straight. But what a disaster. Unbelievable scenes for the Force India driver. I thought I heard a car hit the wall, and just as he comes out the pits, oh my, that is disastrous. He almost had this race wrapped up, although the gap was only 2 seconds, but he led every lap so far. And wow, that is absolute scenes there. Karting second place in the championship, and he is out of this race 12 laps in, and oh dear, I cannot believe it. I wish we saw it on board, to be honest, because then we'd see what happened. I presume he's just locked it up, overshot it, and he's put it in the wall. But Slimbo Dude is going to be absolutely celebrating. He's potentially going to extend his championship lead here. because he will now surely go up into the points. But a disaster for Butler UK as well, we have to say, because as we're experiencing a bit of lag there, but Butler UK spinning off and hitting the wall, and you gotta feel sorry for karting there. It's what a shame for him. He's done everything right in this race so far until that point, and he'll be kicking himself when he sees that back, and he'll be kicking himself in the car right now after hitting the wall in this very corner. And it's a strange one there. It's not really a corner that you usually see crashes happen, and he's just locked it up, and he's just ploughed in the wall. Obviously, sim damage is things like that will happen. You do end up losing your your tyres from just ploughing into the wall like that. But wow, what a shame for karting. But Vanquish here, he could win. He's looking really good to win this race. He's increasing the gap to second place Roscoe as Snap finally comes in the pits and gets a front wing change as well, actually. But Slimbo dude, championship leader, he'll be, not that he, hopefully that he inside he'll be happy, because he's going to be increasing his championship lead here from, you could maybe say, a little bit of a silly mistake from karting. We don't know what's happened, so we can't say much at the minute. But all we've seen is that he's just put it in the wall, and he is out of this race, as well as Butler UK in this part of the track. But Baku really providing some shocks today in this race, and what a shame, you have to say, for the Force India. Vanquish actually now sets the fastest lap of the race. He's pushing. He's almost got a 12-second gap lead over his nearest challenger, Roscoe, now. But he doesn't want to push too hard. He doesn't want to do what karting did and plough into the wall. I somehow drop a glass in my room. But yes, Roscoe, he's on a lot older set of tyres, as we can see. Yeah, he's a massive gap between the tyres there. He can't really do too much. He almost needs Vanquish to make a mistake. But we actually have Azdog gaining on Snap here, closest battle on the track at the minute. And it's Snap saving his ERS bit, whilst Azdog is actually using it a bit. Both on the same tyre, pretty similar on strategies, and Snapdog almost just lets him through right around the outside. Azdog gets the move done. Nice stuff from him there. So we're in a little bit of a lull period of the race here, as kind of expected after a lot of action so far. I think Azdog may have just put the wall there, but we just need to wait for the next few pit stops, and then that's when the action will begin again. But Vanquish is really putting in the laps now, but he wants to be careful. He doesn't want to make a mistake, and Roscoe is out. Oh dear, what a shame. There we go, we can see the McLaren. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's lost the back end, and another crash out for a top runner. And Roscoe is out of the race. The McLaren driver, Scotsman, looking very likely for a podium finish there. Maybe his super soft tyres have got a bit worn or something, but he's out of the race, and another one bites the dust, really. And another position gained for Slimbo dude. Just shows the key importance of just keeping on going in this Azerbaijan race. And he's way off the lead, but good to see some of the midfield runners getting a bit of a battle going on. karting now leads the session, understandably, and there we go, we see Slimbo Dude now up to 9th position. But so we just got over 10 laps remaining here. Could maybe look like it's a bit of a foregone conclusion now, but as we are seeing a hell of a lot of lag there. But who knows? We can't really. It's probably between Dave Shaw and Vanquish now, but yeah, Vanquish is just going to be so far ahead as Himcar now finally pulls into the pits. 13 laps and then super soft tyres. Double cream cap will probably not be far off as well, and he hasn't even made a stop yet. There we go, another set of super softs on. So he's going for it again on those tyres. He should, yeah, he will get to the end on those set of tyres. Vanquish will most likely get to the end on those super softs or yeah, softs. For some reason it's showing super softs, but we believe he's on soft tyres. If he is on super softs, which I don't think he is, but if say we believe what we can see on the screen, then that could be touch and go. If he makes the finish, we'll see Dave Shaw pulling to the pit soon, actually, as it could be quite tight between him and Himcar. Himcar could make the jump here, being on those fresh set of super softs. But we'll look at some of the information now. So, who's been the big gainer? Asdog has been a big gainer today. 11 positions. A great race for him. Hixie being the big loser, really, and karting as well. Losing a lot of positions. But we got a bit of a battle. Asdog and Blasmic, two Renault teammates. Don't know what's going on there. One of the Renaults has really dropped off from Bilton Matt. He was once alongside him and now he's way off. But Snap just behind these guys, so we could see something forming up here as Dave Shaw's in the pits. Now, battle for second place. Who's going to win this one? As obviously the Sauber pit lane is right at the end. So, a quick stop there, super soft tyres on. And he does come out in front, way ahead really, of the Toro Rosso. So, we've not really got anywhere else. As Bilton Matt is actually coming under attack from Asdog here, or should I say from both Renaults, so that'll be an interesting one. And then we got Snap just behind, so that could be an interesting one to keep an eye on, as Bilton Matt pulls in the pits actually, so he's back in for a third stop now, so he's going to go plummeting down the order. And Slimbo Dude could be quite close in here. We've not really seen the true pace of Slimbo Dude today. We can probably bring up the fastest laps, and a 1:30, 43 should I say. So it's or should I say at 42, maybe it's just put in a quicker lap. So it's like quite a way off Vanquish. So the Championship Lady's not really shown too much today. But yeah, Dave Shaw 40 seconds off Vanquish now. And yeah, it's looking like the race pretty much done in terms of for the win. But second place could still be up for grabs. And I mean, Double Cream Cat, he's still out there on those soft tyres. 8 laps now. Fair play to the Sauber driver. I mean, 16 laps in Blasmic on 15 laps. But yeah, 16 laps on them tyres. He's on one hell of a stint at the minute. And Asdog may be able to catch him up if he keeps on going. But we'll surely see him come in the pits now. As Bilton Matt actually puts on some ultra soft tyres. He'll need those ultra soft tyres, so he's got a big gap to gain. But Double Cream Cat stays out. He is really on a runner here. He's very consistent, he seems. And them tyres are still going, and Blasmic stayed out. But he will come under attack from Snap soon, because he's on those quick super soft tyres. and he'll be right on Blasmic's tail now, really, to before the end of this race. But Blasmic will surely have to pit, without a doubt. And Slimbo Dude's actually not far off Built-in Matt, so he could have a look later on in the race, but he is on the slower tyre, so we'll just have to keep an eye out on it. But Snap is gaining on Blasmic here. Can he get the move done? He's on quicker tyres here, much younger tyres, but if he gets past Blasmic may have to be quite strategic here, because his teammate ahead is not far up the road, and Snap's actually on 2 lap younger tyres than Asdog, so if Snap gets straight through, then he really could chase down after Asdog, who's actually really catching Double Cream Cat, who will surely have to pit soon. But got 2 little battles for me here. And Double Cream Cat, will he pit this lap? He's on an amazing stint, really. But Snap will surely have Double Cream Cat on this lap, Blasnick on this lap. And I think Double Cream Cat, he stayed out. Unbelievable. What a stint. This Blasmic pit. No, he doesn't. So Snap could get the move done here. Blasmic goes to the inside to defend. Can he hang on? He may open himself up for the next corner. He doesn't. Snap doesn't really turn that corner that well there. Struggling a little bit for grip almost. But he has to also be wary of Built-in Matt behind. He already took a good 2 seconds out of him. So Built-in Matt could be right on him at the end of this race. And big lift there actually from Snap going into that corner, so a little bit hesitant as Asdog is right on the tail of Double Cream Cat. But this is affecting Asdog because he's got to get this move done. But then Snap, as Double Cream Cat very, very kindly lets the runner driver through. Snap will not be liking Double Cream Cat after that. As Snap hits the wall and he's out. Oh dear, and I think the Renault of Blasmic hit the wall as well, but Snap pushing a bit too hard there. And the Ferrari driver is in the wall. And another one is DNFing out of this race. But, another driver that is setting it up quite nicely for himself. And he's put himself out of the race. And Slimbo Dude gets up another position. And here comes Vanquish actually. Just going very easily past him. Which is not surprising because the last thing you'd want to do is just hit that car by overshooting the corner. But Blasmic he must have, yeah, he has. He definitely clipped the wall, you could see it. And both cars there actually hitting the wall, and he will surely pit now. As Double Cream Cat finally pits as well. 2 drivers there on amazing stints. 19 laps for Double Cream Cat. I mean, wow, what a long run that was. The interesting thing there is Built-in Matt is now 5th place, so good job of him. Slimbo Dude is going to be close here. There he is. Double Cream Cat comes out the pits ahead of Slimbo Dude. So that as Slimbo Dude overshoots the corner, and Blasmic could have him here. Oh dear. But as we see a cloud of smoke, but I tell you what, Vanquish is coming up to these guys to lap them now, and I mean, if that doesn't say something, Slimbo Dude, championship leader, potentially going to get lapped here from Vanquish. But I'll bring up the championship standings. Will we see a new leader in the standings after this race? So Vanquish was 43 points behind, so we won't, but he's going to dramatically close the gap, and we presume Slimbo Dude will still be on top. He will be for sure, but yeah, it's We've had a few of the big runners crash out in this race, as expected. A lot of DNFs. It is the Baku race. It's not particularly one of my favourite ones. And we see Azdog come in the pits. Quite strange, to be honest. 10 laps in Zubsov's, like, it's a fairly long run. But it does mean Bilton Matt may have him here. It's going to be oh so close. Here he comes, down the straight. And there he is. Oh, it's going to be so close. Both on soft tyres. They're going to be a sprint into turn 2. The Renault just gets ahead. Wow, that was close. Didn't even see that coming. Didn't even notice how close that gap was. But that is vitally important for Azdog on those fresh ultra soft tyres. Just about getting in front of Bilton Matt there. Really close stuff there from the two drivers. And I'd be surprised if Bilton Matt can keep with him, but you never know, he could do. 4 laps though on those ultra soft tyres compared to a brand new set on the Renault. He could maybe do something, as we see Vanquish there now lapping Blasnik. As Dave Shaw, what a result this is for him. 2nd place at the minute. Don't want to jinx anything for him, but it's a fantastic result for him. Himcar also looking very good for a podium. Very good for both Toro Rosso drivers, really. 5th and 3rd place. I'll bring up the constructors' standings actually. Actually, as I haven't mentioned that yet, as Hacks, where does that come from? Haas are currently on top of those standings. However, quite close behind are Force India, but both Force India drivers are out of the race. So then we go to Toro Rosso, and they are a grand total of, they have 36 points and Haas have 78, so we won't see any changes in that standing as well. But we'll watch Bilton Matt. I don't think he'll be able to catch Azdog, because I think there's a bit of a gap between the freshness of those tyres. But Slimbo dude could be he could be getting caught at the end by Blasnik, because those super soft tyres of his have done 13 laps now. You're quite a way up the road, 5.5 seconds, but those tyres, you don't want to get puncture or something. He does not want a DNF now, but we shall see. Double Cream Cat, fair play to Double Cream Cat. He's had a very good race today. 6th place at the minute, and an amazing stint on those soft tyres. 19 laps. I mean, like if some other drivers had that ability of managing tyres to that degree, I mean, they'd be brilliant. Some of the quicker drivers, should I say. If you have the pace and tyre management like that, obviously Double Cream Cat, he's not really had the pace in this race, but he's been oh so consistent, which is gonna probably get him 6th place here, unless Slimbo, that's a little target for him. Obviously, I'd be very, very surprised if a 13 lap old super soft tyre runner can catch a 2 lap ultra soft runner. But I tell you what, the gap's coming down, so we could see a bit of action there. And quite weirdly almost, he is actually catching him. And Kingbergs rejoins the session. Nice one. And his teammates, Wheelnut is still there on the track actually, from his race deciding crash. Really, it looks like Vanquish is going to take home his first win of the season, but we got yellow flags in sector 1. What's going on there? It's the championship leader, Slimbo, letting through the race leader, and he's actually let Blasnik get right on him here. Blasnik is going to have him up the inside. What on earth was Slimbo doing there? He's just let a position go. He may still come back. We've got yellow flag in sector 3. What's going on there? Ooh, yellow flags. I don't know who that's for. But Slimbo, what was he doing there? Still got yellow flag. What's going on? I don't know who's had a crash. Can't see anyone. But Yeah, it was, I don't know what happened there. Slimbo's lost the position. He still leads the championship, but you got to remember, at the end of the season, every point counts. If it's 1 or 2, they all count the same, and they have all the same importance, really, when you come to the end of the season. But Vanquish, he's been superb today. Fair play. He has dominated this race ever since the crash for karting, as Asdog now sets the fast lap of the race, a 1:41 dead, and but it doesn't really mean too much, as he's 32 seconds off a podium. But unless there's any crashes before the end of this race, the positions look pretty much set, as Slimbo Dude hits the pits. Maybe he's going for fastest lap, but he's in the points. He's still going to be winning the championship, but a little bit of an off day for him. He is going fastest lap. There we go, ultra soft tires on the car, as Vanquish is now actually on the second last lap, so he's only going to get 1 lap at this Slimbo, and we'll now actually look at Vanquish as he's doing the final laps. But a pretty good race, a bit more of a tactical race at times, and a few scraps, fair enough, a few scraps, and but maybe the crashes have denied us from maybe the race that we could have maybe had. But still, again, I have enjoyed myself. It's been good to commentate on this race as we now approach the final lap. But for future races, I mean, it's really set up nicely. Vanquish could really have a go at this championship now, as he's going to close right up to Slimbo, who's not really had the pace today. Fair enough, he's had to make quite a lot of pit stops and got in a bit of a crash at the start, but he could even get a penalty. We don't know, because it was a very aggressive move on Rocketoni, and we'll find out a little bit more about that after the race. But here comes Vanquish. He's going to start the final lap now, but Baku provides the crashes again, but maybe not the most exciting race that could be, just because of the crashes. Simple as that. Nothing more else to say than that. But we will return this time next week on Thursday for the Spanish Grand Prix, and I won't actually be there for it, as I am away. I should hopefully be back for the Monaco Grand Prix, which would be very nice to commentate on. And but Vanquish, fair play, good job from him today. Double cream cat, 4 seconds off, closest gap on the track at the minute. He's actually gaining quite a bit on Built-in Matt. I don't know if Built-in Matt's going particularly slow or anything, but we haven't got any cars saving fuel or anything, I don't think. Maybe that could throw up a last twist in the tail if someone runs out of fuel or something. But I think it all is pretty much done and dusted. It's going to be a win for the Williams driver, Vanquish, if he can negotiate the final 2 corners. We hope for him that he does. He's just got to take it super easy now. He's 42 seconds ahead. He's absolutely dominated this race. Fair play. Well, fair enough, it's been given to him a little bit by karting going out. Who knows who could have won the race? But all we will know is that the race winner of the round 4 Azerbaijan Grand Prix in IRC F1 League Racing is going to be Vanquish. Here he comes, coming up to the line. Vanquish wins in Baku. A superb drive from the Williams driver. He takes the win, and really increases his challenge on Slimbo in the championship. Dave Shaw is going to take home a podium from this race, as Slimbo Dude does get fastest lap as he comes across the line in 8th place. Blasmek comes home in 7th as well. Got a yellow flag in sector 1. Oh, and Blasmek has had a huge collision. I don't know who that's with. We hope that's not. I don't think it's affected anyone. But Dave Shaw, he's going to be delighted with that. A podium, well done to him. Stuck at it, 44 seconds off, but podium nevertheless. Himcar's weaving, he takes over the podium, well done to him. And Bilton Matt is actually DNF'd because he's going to finish 6th anyway. No way he's going to change position now. And or I think he's not going to change position, but Azdog is now going to come up to the line in the Renault and takes home the 4th place and double cream cat. A great drive from him, really, not in terms of pace but consistently, really getting those laps in on them soft tyres. But we're just waiting for him to come across the line now, and then we'll be done and dusted here in Azerbaijan. And bar we have any dramatic penalties, that is your race here in Baku. So there you have it, your podium drivers. Vanquish takes home the win, his first of the season, and in the Williams. And then a Sauber driver and Toro Rosso in 2nd and 3rd. So Dutchman wins with 2 British drivers on the rest of the podium. So not often you see that in real life, so there you have it. Probably the most unlikely podium you'll ever see in real life F1, because it's all the slowest cars on the phone. But there you go, there is your final results. Vanquish wins, Dave Shaw 2nd, Himcar in 3rd place in the Toro Rosso, Azdog in the Renault in 4th, Double Cream Cat in 5th, Bilton Matt 6th, Blasmic in 7th, Slimbo Dude in 8th place, and Snap and Roscoe rounding off the top 10 with big hitters crashing out, karting, and Butler and Rocketoni and the other Mercedes and the rest of the guys out of the race, and it will hit their championship pretty badly. So that was it. That is your Baku race for the season, and this has been me, Boffy Dweller. I'll see you guys potentially in 2 weeks, as I will not be here for the Spanish Grand Prix, but I hope everyone enjoys it. I've enjoyed today, and I'll see you then, and have a very good night.